feel to you? Fuck you.
The regions of experience. Demons to some, angels to
I
others.
saw her face.
What's that like to live deliciously?
Greetings, friends! Welcome back to the Messed Up Movies Podcast, the podcast celebrating movies and filmmakers that embrace the insane, the outrageous, the unhinged, the off-kilter, and the all-around kind of fun Sam looks at a little too long. That's what I would say, right? There you go. Kick it over to him. Now I'm just going to edit the episodes as well. We're here on this New Movie Monday to talk about one of the best movies I've seen in a long time, Bugonia. What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Griffey, joined as always by Heath and Sam, who you saw in our super well-timed comedic bit at the start of the show. Before we start today's episode, a little bit of business. Please make sure you are subscribed to the Misfit Parade YouTube so you can see video versions of the pod clips and some other cool stuff we're working on there. Make sure you go to the Messed Up Movies Podcast Patreon page to see all kinds of cool exclusive stuff we have over there. You can vote for the movies you want to be exclusives. We have the Creep Tapes miniseries. We've got tons of miniseries over there. We would love for your support over there. It's the best way to help grow this show. Also, make sure you go to Indiegogo. Type in Mr. Cream Jeans. That's the movie we're making. You have to type it in because we've been shadow banned. You can pick the perk where you can join this podcast to talk about a new movie, an old movie, or do a film festival draft with me, Heath, Sophia, Sam, Dandino, whoever you want. You can come take us on and help us make our first movie, which would be incredible. All right, we're here for New Movie Monday. We're here to talk about Yorgos Lanthimos' new movie, Bugonia.
Bobo.
This was a bizarre movie. It was a bigger than I expected movie. I'll start off with a hot take. In a year where Weapons came out, I thought that's a deadlock to be my favorite movie of the year. I think Bugonia is the best film I've seen all year. I have it as my number one movie of the year so far. I
Really?
fucking adored every second of this movie. I went to my letterbox to check what my friends are saying. I was shocked by how not as enthused other people were as I was. This is by far my favorite movie of the year.
It's a feel-bad movie. It's a tough hang.
I don't mind a feel-bad movie.
I don't either.
I don't think Weapons is a feel-good movie.
It's
I don't think Sinners is a
Kind
feel-good
of had a
movie.
happy ending,
but
right?
Weapons is more fun. I
It
wouldn't
is
say
fun.
that I was having a lot of fun watching Bugonia.
I thought this was really fun,
Dude,
man.
yeah,
I
I
thought
thought
the
this movie was
performances
fun.
were incredible. It's insanely sharp and comedic at times.
It is funny.
Yeah,
It's funny.
I found this movie
Not fun,
so
but funny.
fucking enjoyable. And I love Yorgos and everything he does. So I'm already in the can.
Yeah.
I thought this movie was astounding. I absolutely adored it. Sorry, Sam's wardrobe malfunctions. So, Sam, why don't you start us off? What did you think of Bugonia?
I liked it. It was really cool. I'm not a huge fan of Yorgos.
You don't like Yorgos?
Well, I don't think I've seen a lot of his movies.
Did you see Poor Things?
No, I did not.
Okay, you should
What
see that.
about Killing of a Sacred Deer?
I did not.
You
need
The Lobster.
The Lobster.
The Lobster I did see, but I can't remember what it was about. And I'm pretty sure it's not a lobster.
It's a man who wants to be a lobster.
He wants to be a lobster.
You
Okay.
should do a Yorgos day.
Maybe I haven't
Definitely.
seen that one then.
Yeah,
'cause I feel
but
like I
you
remember
liked
that.
this movie.
Was I the
no,
only one who saw
so-
Kinds of Kindness?
Oh, I loved Kinds of Kindness.
You love that too?
Yeah.
We haven't talked about this.
Yeah, I did really like Kinds of Kindness, right?
Now, that movie to me was really fun.
Yeah, it's super fun. And again, I think that has some unevenness in the segments. But
does.
yeah, I love Yorgos, man. I love Emma Stone. I love Jesse Plemons. It was cool to see Stavi.
I gotta say,
in the
I
movie.
did love The Favorite.
The Favorite.
That's a great
another
movie.
That's a
incredible
Yorgos
movie.
movie. I think that might be the
He
only
really
one I've seen.
doesn't miss.
No.
Yeah.
He's the guy, he's probably the one director now. If I see he has a movie coming out, I am the most excited of any other director making movies right now. Right? Maybe Robert Eggers.
Yeah.
Maybe I really like there's some Ty West. I think
yeah,
Osgood
sure.
Perkins. His movies don't always
Yeah.
work for me, but I'm always excited to see them.
Yeah.
So, but Yorgos to me is the guy right now. If I know there's a new Yorgos movie out,
Yeah.
I'm finding that movie.
He's the shit right now.
I thought this movie was fucking incredible. Heath, what did you think?
I also thought it was
Bugonia.
absolutely incredible. And it's grown in esteem for me as I've been able to process it. I think it's been roughly 2 or 3 weeks. And it's a movie that was working for me throughout the experience of watching it. But now, upon reflection, there's a big twist at the end. I don't know if you can call it a twist. It's
Yeah, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert on everything.
there's we don't have to reveal it quite yet. If you need to kind of like slowly work your way, we don't want people dropping off the pod right immediately. But something happens at the end. It's the central question of the film, and it's a big, bold choice. And I can't say it immediately worked for me, but it definitely has now that I've been able to think about it a lot more. So I agree with you. One of my, I'd say top 3 or 4 movies of the year.
Yeah. This year has been fucking stacked, right? You've got Weapons, you've got Sinners.
Sinners was this year.
You got this. Yeah. There's so many great movies I haven't even been able to check out yet. I haven't seen One Battle After Another.
Great.
There's so many great movies this year.
Fuck. You haven't seen One Battle After Another yet?
No, I don't have fucking
either,
5 hours to carve out to go to the fucking
I hope you
theater.
ignored the last pod that we did where I sort of gave a critical plot point away from that movie.
As most people who listen to the pod know, I barely listen to anyone else.
Griffey never listens to us.
That's what I'm counting on.
Yeah, I'm always crafting my next verbal attack. No, I roughly know what it is. It's been out for a while now.
I will say
I
this:
can't wait to see
the
it.
only 5-star movie still though on my letterbox from this year, Black Bag.
I still haven't seen Black Bag, man. I think I was so mad about Presents, I skipped it for a while.
Yeah.
For me, this is the third 5-star movie I had this year. I had Weapons, Sinners, and this all as 5 stars. Maybe Weapons and Sinners were 4 stars. This is my only 5-star.
Weapons was definitely not a 5-star for me. Weapons is another one of those where I'm like, it's a good movie, but I just didn't like it, you know?
Yeah, the classic Sam Critique. Sick movie. I hate it.
Sick. That's not how I say it.
Sam talks in 90s parlance, 90s skater parlance.
He's just always misrepresenting me, Nick.
He turns to the producer. What do you want the producer to do?
I don't know.
He can't save you.
Do something, Nick.
Nick, save him. Yeah, Nick, if we could just AI and Sam with some better points. No, to me, this movie, I couldn't have loved it more. The way I thought about it as we've been out, right? You guys, did you see Eddington?
No, I missed it.
You saw Eddington? I think we saw it together.
Yeah.
That movie, Ari Aster I love, right?
Yeah.
Well, I should say I loved Hereditary.
So Ari Aster involved in this film, I believe.
He produced it, right?
One of the producers.
Yeah.
He made a movie this year, Eddington, which I think is one of the biggest pieces of shit I've ever seen. It's such a cowardly, stupid fucking film, right?
Just
It's
lukewarm,
indulgent,
nothing.
it's lame. It's one of these that's like, we want to capture America like in COVID, where people are crazy and they're getting weird media and conspiracies. It's all this stuff they want to do. But the movie's so toothless and dumb, it never actually takes a stand or says anything, right? To me, Yorgos in this movie captured exactly what it feels like to deal with the battles we're dealing with now of living in separate realities, having no core truth. To me, I have not seen a movie that captured the kind of existential dread I think we all fear, where we're like, AI's coming, we don't know about jobs, we don't know about the government, we don't know, like, nothing feels like we have a thing to stand on anymore, right? We're afraid, nothing seems real, we all think everyone who disagrees with us is a liar. No movie has captured that more effectively than Bugonia.
And he essentially did it with 2 people. Eddington had this huge cast of all these different philosophies. This was just the 2, and then the guy in the middle. But it was basically, he did it with 2 people, and it was kind of a masterpiece, I think.
I think that for me, this might come off as flippant. So the quote of the century to me is from Rudy Giuliani.
Oh, shit.
Which was a flippant comment when he said, "Truth isn't truth."
Right.
That's exactly where we are now.
Yeah, this is the alternative facts reality that we live in.
And that is the central tension of the whole movie is who holds the truth.
Right.
Is it the conspiracy theorist or is it the
corporate
the corporate elite?
And they both think they're right.
Yeah.
They both think they're
well. That's what it is. Our reality now is a battle of who believes their horseshit the most.
Yeah.
And screaming and trying to batter other people. This movie puts a face on it, right? So Jesse Plemons and his cousin live in this house. They're kind of broke. He works at the warehouse of this mega bio pharmacy, whatever company it is, right?
Yeah.
Emma Stone's the CEO of that. We learned that Jesse Plemons' mom died because of some kind of drug.
She had a drug trial with this company.
Yes, an unforeseen.
No. She's comatose, I believe. I don't think
she's not dead.
Right.
Yeah.
She's not actually dead.
Dead,
She's in coma, dead to him essentially.
Dead
right?
to him. Yeah. Brain
so
dead.
she's just there. Yeah, is this thing in the bed that's not his mother, right?
Not at the house. She's in a facility.
Yeah, she's in a facility. Yeah. Jesse Plemons then aims all of that hatred and rage up at Emma Stone, who's the CEO of the company that did this to him, right?
And that he works for.
and that he works for, right? He works in the fucking warehouse.
Factory.
And he has gone on this deep dive internet, right? There's a thing that I always laugh at. I'm sure you guys were on these texts too, but my cousin said it to me before, a guy we went to college with. They always do this, like, once you find out what's really going on. And I'm like, what kind of clearances do you guys have?
What research?
Yeah, what information? Yeah, I do my own research, people, right? Like the people who still fucking argue about COVID and vaccines and shit. And it's like, none of us are doctors. We have no fucking idea what we're saying. We're regurgitating what we heard, right? The best TED Talk I ever saw was the guy who's like, hey, don't put too much stock in TED Talks, right? Someone who spends their whole life to master and expert something, and they do a concise little presentation that you can understand. Don't take that into the world and then pretend you're a fucking expert, right? And I thought that was a really well said point, right? I think that's the world we live in, where we read headlines or articles or memes, and we base so much foundational truth on things that we really don't have any fucking clue what we're talking about.
Well, what's so interesting about the times that we live in is it's really obvious now that we were reared in a world that was a house built on sand.
Yeah.
We didn't realize that the trust that we had put in the institutions, we don't really know what... I remember the very first time I had that question of like, wait, how can we really believe all this shit? It's like when I saw Oliver Stone's JFK. Mm-hmm. That's a great movie about exploring, the paranoia and are the institutions, are the people in power actually, leveling with us, telling us what is real and what isn't. Right. And then, of course, you have this past decade of Trump and the fake news. And now it's really exposed because people are finding their own sources of quote unquote news, call it news, call it entertainment, and it's coming from anywhere. Yeah. And we only ever had a shared set, an agreed reality based off of this little tube television or newspapers that came funneled to us through one very tiny outlet, and now that's just expanded infinitely. And truth can be anything because we all have our own set of facts or information, and we can interpret
and
people
even
anyway.
say that. They say this is my truth. They don't say this is the truth. This is my truth.
This is the fucking truth. It is. It's kind of like we all used to have like crazy like one dude in our town. And now they just all have mobbed up on the internet, and we have to pretend that them saying that they've done research on a disease, a new pandemic that no one has any idea about, and the way they don't understand science, that science doesn't immediately have answers. There's trial and error. You have to put these things through test. And any mistake, they're like, "See, told you." Yeah. I saw this on a blog somewhere, right? Like it's that insane and like we have to pretend like we're not closed-minded. We have to like listen to flat earthers and shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like guys that didn't graduate high school are now telling us why that there's a flat earth. It's just insane fucking times we live in. And I think we all have this, and I'm a father, right? I often think about it as like we might not ever get a vote again. We're watching ICE go into towns and shoot pepper balls into people's fucking cars with kids and shit. And the things that now we just accept is like, this is just how it is. I feel like there's a thing happening now where there's such a flood of news and bad shit and false information. I know me personally, you start to just retreat away from it, right? You get really apathetic. And I think we're just seeing so many unprecedented, scary things at once that people are shutting the fuck down. Yeah. Right? And we just don't want to engage. And when I saw this movie, I was like, to me, that's what the best movies that make statements are. Is like, this thing is too big and scary for me to process all the way. They put it in this small little drama that was fun, right? Like it wasn't like a fucking lesson with like a nun whipping me for not knowing. It was just putting me in this dread that I feel every fucking day and can't quite put a face on. I can't quite express how I feel. And he perfectly captured what I grapple with every fucking day, but in this insanely fun, crafted tale.
Yeah. And it's basically like what you said, that through this small story that we're now having to deal with all these much larger questions about what gravity do we have when it comes to information and truth and a shared reality. And the way this movie ends and deals with that, it put me off at first because your instinct is like, oh, well, that's silly. That could not be. but maybe the Earth is flat. Shit, I don't know. What's crazy to
What
me...
it asks you is, what if these fucking lunatics are right?
Yes.
Like this is kind of...
Sometimes they are right.
It's the fun arena that lets you think a little more than something like The Long Walk. When you see The Long Walk and it's like a fascist post-America is the number one power, murdering kids, that's really easy. There's not a lot of gray area in a movie like this. This movie allows for that. Instead of just immediately mocking Jesse Plemons and his cousin, it's these kind of rubes, by giving them some power in the story that maybe none of us fucking know what's true. Maybe none of us have power. Maybe the CEO is another fucking cog in this bigger thing we don't understand. There is kind of a grace in that, in a weird way to me.
Yeah, I don't think the ending has as much weight as you're thinking.
Well, because for me,
I don't think the
was
ending
there a
is
moment in the
supposed to
film
be...
for you where you thought, oh, the ending is going to be this is what Jesse Plemons wishes it was?
So I thought a lot this movie.
Before you get into it, can we just spoil the ending now?
Yeah, let's spoil the ending.
I think you have to kind of get to...
Yeah, let's go ahead and spoil it.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
All right.
I'm setting it up. So they capture Emma Stone, and their whole thing is, you are an alien from another planet. I've done my own research. We know that you're here to destroy Earth. And she's like... Yeah,
you're destroying the bees and all that shit.
I know. And her whole argument is, I know you believe this, but you have to know that you're misguided and this is all going to blow up in your face.
She is the avatar for us. We're all listening to Jesse Plemons, watching him put fucking lotion all over her and shave her hair, and we're like, this is...
So I disagree with that.
Insane, scary stuff.
I disagree with that. I don't think that she's our representation. I feel like Don is our representation.
Well, it just depends on your own point of view, who you want to be represented
Well,
by.
that's true, I guess.
I think when Emma Stone's telling him, you know you're misguided, right? You know none of this is true. And we're watching her through this almost like misery setup, trying to persuade him and play his game.
Yeah, but...
I think to me, it reminds me of all the worst fucking people you know in your life, where it's like, all right, we got to tiptoe around this person. They're really into politics. They're really going to fucking ruin this night. I thought
she's condescending.
Yeah, she captured a lot of what I feel like.
She did the great job, because Jesse is supposed to represent the conspiratorial, and she's the corporate, and she's trying. And
the person who's fucking dying on a malnourished diet of just internet conspiracy.
But he is the basically it's the lizard person argument. Yeah. You are an alien creature from somewhere else, which is on the surface ridiculous, because who has confronted that in their own life?
And that's
who has actually seen aliens or anything like that. It's far-fetched. It sounds like fantasy, but he has done his own research to a degree that he's convinced that all of the problems that he's faced in his life are a product of this huge, vast conspiracy of another race of beings who have infiltrated this world to destroy ours. And so she is, yes, being the avatar for the more grounded, reality-based person who's like, yeah, this guy is off his rocker. He's been emotionally distressed to the point that he believes this, and I have to talk him off this ledge in order to maybe save my own life.
Very fucking true to me.
Yeah. And so we're always having these conversations online on Facebook all the time, where people have gone so far down their own rabbit holes that you're trying to pull them back the best that you can, because you feel like that we need our own shared reality. We need to see things. How can we go through society where we see things so insanely differently, and what you believe is to be truth and fact and with dire consequences, I only see as complete made up fantasy, and that's scary. So what this movie does is reveals that the conspiracy theorist was right.
But
she was an alien.
Is actually an alien princess.
Dude, that's what you guys are missing, is he was not right.
Okay.
It was the exact opposite.
So pause. This is what I was asking you. There's a moment in the film where we're led to ask ourselves a question, right? There's this moment where Dom has killed himself now, right? Because he's like, hey, are you going to take me with you? And she's like, yeah. She's trying to talk her way out. Dom unalives himself, right? Mm-hmm. She finds this other room under the basement. It feels like there's this break in reality moment, right? After he kills his own mom with antifreeze that she says is a vaccine for whatever alien thing is happening. So there's a reality break here.
They're playing chess, psychological chess, and she manipulates Jesse Plemons' character. What's his name? Producer Nick, what's the character's name? Because I want probably
It's
we're going to be talking about these characters.
Don and
there's only 3 primary characters.
Teddy.
So she convinces Teddy, who is obviously impressionable. We think from the rational audience perspective that because he's susceptible to, and he even says like, I've gone down all these rabbit holes, and this is the one.
He says I used to think like that too.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that's a classic line. Yeah.
So
just a whiff of Sam in the way Teddy behaves. If I'm being a little honest.
Well, hey, a little. Hey,
oh, Sam. I'm sorry, Sam. You're much more.
He's a free thinker. Okay?
Sam is. That's what I'm saying.
So
Sam is unmoved.
I'm like a lazy version of Teddy. That's actually your son. Let's bring it back to Hunter. After the movie, Hunter's like, or I forget. You were like, I forget what it came up, but I was basically like, I'm too lazy to be that crazy.
Yeah, that's right.
But I get the idea, you know.
Yeah.
But I want to bring it back to the point that you were trying to make. So he is convinced by her. She goes along with his game, we think, in order to... She's always kind of like going back and forth about whether or not she's going to talk sense into him or she's going to just placate him so that she can find a way out of this situation, right? What would you do in her situation, being held captive like this? So she then goes along with it. Yes, I am an alien being, and we have this serum that we've developed because she's the drug manufacturer CEO, and we have this special thing that I have hidden in my car, and I've disguised it in the antifreeze jug, and that will be the serum that will save your mother's life. It's experimental, but you should use it. And he's so out of his mind that he believes her, and so far down the rabbit hole, and he takes antifreeze, puts it in his mom's IV, and that basically kills her. But while he is out doing this is the point where the movie flipped for me, where I was like, what the fuck is going on? Because this is her opportunity now to escape. And she stays. And so where were you going with that, where she goes into his...
This is a moment I pegged that I was like, this could be the moment for you, right? And I think it's kind of a beautiful way to make this movie, right? Which is you have to decide what truth you're in, right? Before he leaves, he fucking smashes her knee apart. Right? So she can't run. He's like, that's for fucking Dom. She goes under the basement and finds this extra room. We learn that Jesse Plemons' character, Teddy, has done a lot of capturing people and dissections. He's got numerous dead bodies in their body parts. He's got photo albums. She goes, how many of them were aliens? And he goes, 2. And we saw there's a lot more than 2 people in there, right?
Yeah.
We're asking ourselves, is Teddy fully psychotic? Is he actually on to... This is where the movie starts to shift, and you don't really know what's happening. When Emma Stone comes back out of that room...
You feel less bad about her killing his mom after that scene, yeah.
But he exploded her knee, right? And she's kind of limping around. When she comes back out of that room, she's walking. Like, she's walking stronger. She's standing in front of him, right? She doesn't seem like her knee is in pain anymore.
She's not human, yeah.
So that moment, to me, played as the reality has shifted. Do you think that Teddy is right, or do you think this is some kind of fevered addle dream after he kills his mom? Because I think the antifreeze is the last moment where you can say that's an objective truth in the film.
Yeah.
He did that. The rest of it could all be Teddy. As he's fleeing, so we see that great scene where his mom starts to code, and he jumps out of the window, and he's running. He's like, "Arr!" He's like freaking the fuck out. His whole plan is gone. Dom is dead. He's killed a police officer. Right? He's losing his mind. I think everything from that moment on, we as an audience have to decide. And I think there are moments in there where we see shifting places to put our foot.
So
I don't know about
was this the point? When did you ever allow yourself, were you ever trying to get ahead of the movie, trying to game it out, figure out what's the answer?
So I'll say this. I knew from the moment that she first woke up and she's covered in all this white stuff and she had her head shaved, I knew for a fact in that moment that some version of this was going to come out that she is an alien. Right?
Why?
I knew in my heart that was going to happen.
Just a hunch?
Just because it's Yorgos?
I knew in my heart, because I was like, if this is just a plain abduction by a conspiracy theorist, this movie will be too boring and linear for me.
Oh, well, not necessarily.
So in my mind, no, not necessarily.
But
something in
that's
that
not
image,
necessarily the whole point. Is she an alien or is she not?
I agree. But something in that moment when she first sits up and she kind of came right into the camera, something in me just pinged, and I was like, they're gonna play it that she is. Whether she fakes it, whatever. I knew somehow this was going to end with...
I think that's just you've seen too many movies.
Maybe.
So you're like, yeah.
And I've seen a lot of Yorgos, right?
You've seen a lot of Yorgos.
I knew it wouldn't be that flat. I knew it wouldn't be a straight thing. I knew there was going to be some curveballs.
This is also a remake.
And in that image, it's a remake.
Yeah, this is a remake.
Of what?
Of a foreign film.
Of
Save the Green
I think
Planet.
it's Spanish.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even
I've never
know that.
seen it. It's maybe 10 years, 15 years old.
Holy shit, dude. Now I want to see that movie.
Yeah.
But in that moment when she leaned in, I knew they were going to play on this, she's an alien.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the movie does this beautiful kind of trick where when we watch her opening thing, right, with the yoga, with the mask, it feels so foreign to me. I was like, she might as well be an alien. I think when we think of billionaires now, they're not. They're
well,
like
I think that's what they're
mythical
going
things.
for too.
Yeah.
Is
Right,
like they're
'cause
so far away from.
We
normal
never
humans.
fully side with either of them, right? Because
Yeah.
we're. I think that's how the world is. We're all right in the middle.
Well, no, I think
being
we side with
fucking
Don.
attacked from both.
Like
of
I think
these.
I honestly think Don is supposed to be the guy caught in the middle. That's just
Dawn
like,
is the sacrificial lamb who is at
well,
the whims
and
of
they
Teddy.
play him as like this autistic guy that's kind of dumbed down. He's just going with the flow. But I feel like he's the everyman that's just trying to live his life, and he's stuck in between this,
Right.
the corporate greed, the crazy ass internet people.
Yes,
and he's
exactly.
just somewhere in the middle.
And we never all the way land on who's right or who's wrong. But I knew in that moment the movie was going to put us in this head-on collision where they were going to reveal her as an alien. And we had to grapple with that. And I actually think I thought of it in a more simple, silly way than how the movie actually plays. I think that kind of break where we have to choose what is our truth is the whole fucking point of the movie.
That was my assumption of how this was going to resolve, is that we wouldn't ever know, and we had to make our own guesses.
It's the Inception top moment.
Yeah,
At
exactly.
the end, we have.
I
See,
didn't
that's
think-
what I thought.
I
I thought
didn't-
it was going to go to like a, well, maybe he's not insane.
I didn't think we would ever get a definitive answer.
I definitely didn't think we were going to a
I thought it-
spaceship and seeing a
Yeah.
flat
Right,
Earth,
right, right,
and they
yeah.
wear giant
No,
fucking furry
I thought the
coats.
whole movie was going to be a Rorschach test. I would have fully anticipated that going in, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be a Yorgos movie. It's going to have some good surprises. It's going to twist and turn, but ultimately, I'm just going to have to sit and make my own decisions about what is and what isn't. He makes a very specific decision, and that threw me off. But in retrospect, now I love it because it's so much to chew on. And I think that moment where she stays and goes into the basement and finds all this, it frustrated me at first because I'm thinking, wait a second, this is a very like convenient movie moment
Yeah.
thing where she's just for the sake of a plot twist. Like, this doesn't feel like the movie I've been watching. This doesn't feel like what Yorgos usually does. And so that's when I started to think, shit, maybe she really is an alien now. Mm-hmm. And we are going to see that because this just doesn't seem to pass the smell test of everything that's come before.
Yeah, I think there's a moment, though, what I was so baffled by the ending. It took me a couple... I'm glad we didn't do it immediately. I needed time to sit with this movie, which is also something I love. I feel like most movies, you don't have to sit and grapple with them, right? It is weird because I thought that the ending could be this Teddy's fever dream. But then I think the movie makes a really firm planting that everything we see is true.
Yeah.
Right? Because the not limping thing kind of threw me. And I was like, it is a dream. When Teddy goes into the teleporter, right? She pulls out this old calculator. She's like, it's a 50-digit character thing.
I know, and the
People are
absurdity
walking
of it
up.
makes you
Yes.
think that it's not real. It
Yeah,
can't
and you're
be
like,
real.
this is so crazy. Of course, a dumb guy in the country is going to think of this.
But also,
When
why
he
would a
fucking-
calculator be in a
Exactly.
box like
Dude,
that?
exactly.
Well, yeah.
So it felt like he was
exactly.
authoring like a weird fantasy, but then he tries to get beamed up and he's wearing explosive devices in case they betray him on the ship. When they beam him up because of the inorganic matter,
Yeah.
he fucking explodes in the closet.
What a
His
great-
head flies out and fucking
my
drills
God.
Emma Stone in the head. And I was like, they just blew up the bizarre narrator
Yeah.
of this fantasy.
Yeah.
And now there's a whole other section of this weird Mountain Dew commercial spaceship.
Well, it felt
And
very
they-
unhuman.
Yeah,
for
and then
sure.
they press the button like humans are this bizarre offshoot. Because Emma Stone says that, like, my father, the king, has taken pity on you. You're a weird evolutionary aberration. You're too violent.
So how the story happened was they originally came to Earth and accidentally killed the dinosaurs.
killed all the dinosaurs,
So they
yeah.
felt
Yeah,
bad about
that's
it,
right.
and they created the apes, which turned in, they created humans.
Yeah, she lays
They
all this
favored
out.
the
She
apes,
lays
yeah.
it out. Yeah.
Which, that's another moment where you have to question, like, how brilliant is she to be making this up? Like, this
Yeah.
is quite a yarn she's
Yeah.
spinning.
Yeah,
And it
for
turns
a,
out,
for a no nonsense CEO.
and it turns,
But
and,
no, they do establish her as like, I got this sense from the very beginning that she's well put together. She's quick on her toes. Like from the very beginning, she's
That's
doing
a lot, though.
She's doing the corporate
Yeah.
speak, but she's coming up with stuff quick, and she's not intimidated.
there's cover
by it.
for it to make you
Like she feels very unhuman the entire.
But
movie.
I think we all agree, though, right, that this is not a movie that's a yes or no.
Yeah.
I think this movie's intentionally designed for us to be able to pick our ending.
No, I think this is a
No,
yes or
dude.
no.
I think that's what you want. and it didn't happen.
You think it is a yes or no?
I think that this is definitely they killed all the humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
There's no question about that.
Yeah.
I think there's room that you could interpret
But
it the other way.
why? Why would there be room for that?
Again, I'm telling you, I saw things in there where I was like, that feels unreal.
But
Even
that's-
in a movie
but
that
the
goes
entire
to like
movie
alien.
felt
That's
kind of-
part of it because
Yeah.
it's playing with, it's manipulating you.
But isn't it weird that this whole movie's we are in the middle of these two fucking horrible creatures that we deal with every day, right?
Yeah.
Internet lunatics and fucking billionaires. We're caught in the middle, right?
And we're
I
forced
think
to
it's-
pick a side.
I think it's bizarre that at the end we just assume that the movie picks a side. I think it's weird to imagine that this movie has such a finite, truthful ending. I think there is possible fantasy.
Well, no, the
involved
actual
in that.
ending then is. I think the real message of the movie is.
I think the ending is when he kills his mom.
No, I think
humans
think it
die, bees come back.
Humans,
It's rebirth.
Humans lost the plot.
They
Humans-
pop
humans
the
lost the plot,
bubble
yeah.
on the flat Earth, and we see all the humans drop dead, right?
Yeah.
But we
That's
see
the
dogs
simple-
and cats
yeah.
keep living.
That's the, and
Yeah.
bees. More importantly, bees.
Bees.
The whole
Right.
movie is based off of fucking.
No,
bees.
the whole point is that the humans have lost their own shared reality.
Yes.
So we are on this trajectory now to basically destroy ourselves.
Yeah.
And we might as well just have aliens do it for us because there's no hope.
So
There's
you
no hope
guys
for us.
both think that everything we saw is in fact what happens
Well,
in
and
the
I
reality
think,
of this film.
and honestly,
Yes.
I think the bubble is the ozone layer, and it's kind of crude, but you're destroying the ozone layer.
When
She
they went
pops
to the
bubble.
model and the Earth was flat, I thought that was so fucking
Yeah.
funny. I just like they're really layering in. I
Yeah.
remember when I was a kid, I was like, conspiracies used to be fun. Like you just watch the National Enquirer
Which is-
and checking on Bigfoot. Conspiracies are so not fun anymore.
Yeah.
It used to be great. So like there was something about that tickled me, bringing back these old classics.
That part did kind of throw me for a loop because I'm like, so they did make a point. I think it was for comedy more than anything else, but it was like, so what are you really trying to say?
It's definitely satire.
Well, what
It's
they're,
satire.
what they're saying is they're sinking us into these insane people's headspace.
Yeah.
This is what Teddy truly believes, right? Of course, he's a flat earther and he's all this
But then
thing.
Teddy's kind of right about
That's-
some stuff.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's weird to just assume that everything we see is a truth because the whole movie is about unreality.
Yeah.
It's about choosing your truth. I don't know that I fully accept everything happens exactly.
Well-
I think you could definitely read it that
Oh,
way.
I think I got it, dude. So the ending. So the entire time, Teddy is believing that these aliens are trying to destroy Earth. Right? They're trying to cause colony collapse, as he says. But in reality, humans are killing themselves, and the
Yeah.
aliens are.
We're
trying,
causing the
aliens are
colony
actually
collapse.
trying to help us. So that's the big misconception.
Well,
Is
that's
Teddy's
the-
wrong? He's right
He's on
about
the right track,
but
but
he's
he
wrong
doesn't have
about
all the
Yes.
information.
The
Yeah.
motive is incorrect.
Yeah.
So the aliens are kind of the good guys in this movie in a weird way, and the humans are evil. And at the end, humans are gone, and the planet seems to be thriving without us.
Well, we don't know. We're like 2 minutes after the movie ends. Like all the humans are dead and animals are okay.
But they end on the scene of the bees coming back, right? And that's supposed to symbolize
well, they're
Earth
not
is
coming back. We see a bee.
We
They haven't,
are,
like, birthed
we are the
generations of
dinosaurs.
bees.
We're the dinosaurs. They're clearing us
They're
out.
clearing us out. They
Yeah.
fucked up again.
Yeah.
Right, but also those aliens came down and were the CEO of a company where they fucking accidentally harmed all these
Okay,
humans.
but
no, they were
So
trying to
they're
help
not
them.
doing a good job
That's
either.
the only part that doesn't track for me. Like, what's the motivation for her living as this, corporate CEO in Atlanta?
Well, she
or
was
whatever?
trying to do the experiments to help people.
But then she told Teddy to inject his mom with antifreeze, which is clearly not alien
No, but see, I believe her
technology.
when she said that in her mind, they would see a crazy guy going into the hospital with antifreeze and stop him. She didn't think that he would actually be able to do it.
I think that's crazy because he did. Him and
No, because at that
him
point
and
in
Dom
time,
put on Jennifer
dude,
Aniston mask and
okay,
kidnapped
so
her ass.
if you think about the movie, at that point in time, everything she's saying is true. At that point in time, and that is what she says. She says, "I did not expect you to actually get. I thought you were going to get arrested."
I can't latch on with you. I don't think anything anyone says in this movie is true.
I think at that point in
There-
time,
there are moments-
I think once she saw the dead bodies, something clicked in her head, and she's like, she almost gained a little bit of respect. For
I don't
this
know
guy.
that she ever even sees those dead
Dude,
bodies.
I think
And
she
again,
gained.
I know that's such like an art house bullshit.
There's a
cop-out,
small.
but when I watch it, I think it's weird to assign an objective truth to anything. There are moments of objective violence and carnage we see.
There's a line
The cop
that
does
she
get
has.
killed. Like the most traumatic scene in the movie to me is at the start when Teddy and Dom are by the fire, and Dom's like, "I don't know, man. Are we gonna do this?" And he's like, "We have to." And how they're gonna control you is through your sexual urges. And he fucking chemically castrates his cousin, right? That's a true moment of violence and horror, right? There are moments when he's trying to pitch his bullshit to her and she's not. It's like CEO speak meeting conspiracy speak. And he violently lashes out at her. I think those are true moments, like touchstones of these horrible interactions we
So you
deal
don't
with
think
all the
anything
time.
else is actually happening?
I think it's a movie that is daring us to pick what we think it means. And I don't
It
think
is.
anyone can say this is what really
But
happened.
I think you're cherry picking it for your own
Yeah.
interpretation, which is fine. But why not take it at face value? I think that's.
I
Totally
think if you
valid.
take it at face value.
I think you take it every which way you can get it. I think it's the beautiful kind of movie that every time you watch it, it will change and grow
All right,
with
there
you.
was a line that really got me when she's in the ambulance and she wakes up, right? They've resuscitated
Mm-hmm.
her, and she says, "Oh, is he really dead?" Mm-hmm. Like, that was such a weird line to me. I'm like, why does like, his head hit you in the face? Like,
Well, she
like,
probably lost some memories.
but it made me think, like, maybe she had a little bit of respect or hope
So
for
that's
him.
the thing I think that makes it feel the most like it actually is the truth of what we
Yeah.
watch, is because Jesse Plemons dies and there's at least what feels like another 10 minutes of movie.
Well, and
Where
she
now
thought
it's
maybe
like with
he got
her.
transported to the ship or something. Like, something might have happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think there's all kinds of ways. But again, I think it's beautiful when a movie doesn't land on anything, and we have to grapple with it. I think whichever path you take, I think there's 3 or 4 points in the movie when you can kind of choose what you think is happening.
If it's done well like that, that's awesome. Sometimes you get a movie where it doesn't have anything and you're pissed off.
I think
you know?
sometimes you see movies where people are trying to make arty, moody, like you have to do the authorship, and you can tell that they don't have a good answer for anything. I don't think that's what this movie
Here's
is.
a good example that is a lot like this movie. It's in conversation with this movie a lot, and it's a House of Dynamite. On that, have you guys watched it yet?
I did, yeah.
No, but you mentioned it in 2 pods now, so I got to watch it.
It's pretty. I liked it quite a bit. So I
See, this is the example of
another
it pissed me
spoiler.
off.
So that movie ends where it doesn't quite answer. I think it does, but it leaves it hanging out there for interpretation what happened. And I've talked to a lot of people that were frustrated by that ending. I wanted a definitive thing.
I did too, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you were one of the.
I
people
was one of the
talked to.
guys you talked to, man. Yeah. So this is one of the examples of it pissed me off. I
So,
was like,
okay.
I watched this 2-hour movie and I got nothing.
Yeah. Well, I think that it tells exactly what happens, but again, that's
Gotcha.
me interpreting it a certain way. And I like that movie too. That's what I thought Bugonia was going to do, where it leaves you to decide. And it sounds like that's how Grippy has.
He kind of made it that way himself.
Yeah, but I think
Well, when I was in the theater and it ended, I thought for sure it was all real. The more I've thought about the movie, I think you can look back, and if you really want to, I think you can kind of
You
take
could just
stuff
say
apart.
that,
But
yeah.
I
Because
like,
again, when Plemons blew up, I was like, "Oh my god, this is all real."
I like that it made that choice.
Yeah,
and it said,
but-
"Hey, we're going to make her an
Yes.
actual alien."
I don't think the movie ever wants us on anyone's side. It doesn't want us saying this is exactly right. I think if you do that, you're kind of it's a Rorschach test that's showing you that you are falling into the trappings that the movie's talking about, right?
And that it's sort of inescapable. Once
Yeah.
you start having these conversations and there's no kind of like referee,
And no one can win.
no one can
That's
win.
the thing. No one can ever win.
No one can win. And that's
the problem
exactly
now.
it.
There's no fucking debate nowadays where anyone wins. Because even
we
if
all
someone's saying,
lose.
we're all just like, I don't believe that. You're like, where did you, like, I get these clips all the time. It's
Where'd
like,
you get your info?
ever since I watched Elephant Graveyard, it's like, Joe Rogan's mothership's collapsing. And if you go on and watch him on his pod, there's always some guy who, like, he's arguing with, and the fucking guy, Jamie, will pull up information. And the guy's like, what's the source? Washington Post? Psh.
I know.
And it's like, you cannot win.
No.
Even if you confront a fact, people just say, that's not a real fact.
Yeah.
I don't agree. That's a corporate backed whatever. No one wins any fucking debate now.
Well,
we're all just
the ones that
arguing.
win are the people in power.
Well, they win because we're all fucking fighting about
Exactly.
stupid shit. Yeah. But again, I think that's the point. It's so much apathy. And I think what the Jesse Plemons character is what happens when someone's not apathetic and takes action on it, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that puts us in this scary scenario that hopefully we never confront.
I was thinking a lot about the Charlie Kirk situation and this rise in political violence that we're seeing, of vigilantism. I mean, all that is going on in this.
See, that's what I mean. This movie
it's good.
so captures the terror of this moment. I thought this movie was fucking terrifying.
Yeah, it is very scary.
But it's just one of those, again, and I think it's weird because Eddington wanted to be this, and it's kind of realistic for the most part. This movie's absolutely bizarre and absurd at every turn, yet is still so much more truthful.
It's still weirdly realistic, yeah.
Yeah, it's just...
If you just cut out the last 10 minutes, this could happen.
Take out all the, like, what happened. Just look at this scene. And again, that's the benefit of having Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons. the truth, the emotional truth of what this feels like. I've never been tied up in a basement. I've never abducted anyone. I feel so perfectly. Don't do that face, producer Nick. He just said maybe. I felt so emotionally connected to what they were both saying, right? When Teddy comes down in his suit and he's doing the whole rigmarole and she's doing CEO talk, it's like it felt so authentic, even though it is absolutely absurd at every turn.
Dude, even the suit versus she was in, so it was like a juxtaposition of power. So she was in like the dirty clothes. She was the prisoner.
But
was
he's
in
still
the suit.
kind of unshowered. He has the shitty like.
He
fucking
had the
top
long
knot,
hair. She had the short. It was like
because there's that great scene where
it's
they're
a great
putting on
mirror
his fucking cousin's suit, and he's like, "This looks stupid. I don't like it." And he's like, "No, it's cool. It's cool." And it's like you see,
they're pretending.
You see his cousins are just like, "I don't want to be involved in what's happening," and he keeps getting dragged, and he's like, "Ever since I was chemically castrated,
He's
I
the
just
guy.
feel off and weird."
I feel sad,
and it's so fucking sad because you see the power shift. We don't like CEOs. We don't like this person. But then we've watched him destroy Dom, this innocent, in the movie. And we watch Dom trying to fucking protect Teddy and be a good cousin, but also realizing it's fucked. That's what I mean. I love the emotional
Don's the only one that
reality of
has any type of like conscience.
Yeah.
Weirdly,
Out of the three of
he's
them,
the most human.
He's the most human out of all of them.
I thought the brilliance of casting an actual neurodivergent actor was that it is this because they play it as like a disability thing, but what it's saying is that he's just not so fucking locked in.
Yeah.
He doesn't absolutely believe something to the point where he'd do others. He's just hearing Teddy talk and he's just like, I don't know, man, that seems out there.
Not good.
But then this other guy who's kind of his caretaker's like, it is what it is. Like, we got to do it. But then through his love for Teddy, he gets fucking destroyed.
He's the only one that makes decisions off of love and compassion.
Well, also just like, what are you looking at in front of you, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the beautiful thing is most of this shit happens online.
Yeah.
When you put two people in a room, and even when you hang out and talk in bars, I feel like most people kind of agree on everything, right? Like, there's like little differences, but it's not as like black and white as online.
Don's like the real life happening of someone being dragged into this whole lifestyle.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really want to be there.
Yeah.
He's just listening to it and he's agreeing with it because
Yeah,
it
he's
makes
like
sense.
the child of a
He's stuck.
survivalist,
Yeah.
you know? And it's like, Jesus
stuck.
Christ, this is
He's
what I
stuck.
have to do
You
in
know
my
what
life.
I find really fascinating about the power struggle between the Plemons character and the Emma Stone character is that it's so complementary. You know, they're on even footing for the most part.
Yeah.
Like you said, she's the CEO, the powerful person, but now he's subjugated her to being a prisoner. And, you know, there's a battle of wits going on as well. But it's so interesting from an emotional standpoint. Griffey, you said you were emotionally connecting to these characters. I emotionally was connecting to Plemons' character because of the trauma that he's experienced and what's got him to this point. I was not rationally... I was rationally connected to Emma Stone's character.
Yeah.
She's the one trying to talk sense into him, but I had no emotional connection to her.
you're tied
so
to
it
both
was like
of them.
I was agreeing with them on different wavelengths, which I thought was fascinating.
Well, there's also, I mean, I think all of us in this moment are like, God, we just want to like scream truth to power.
Yeah.
But what fucking power? Like, every power structure we have in the world feels like it's collapsing and not valued anymore. So it's like we all have all this rage. The internet gives us a place to fucking shout this out. But although we've been more connected, none of us feel heard at all.
And none
Like,
of it makes
it's insane.
sense. I mean, you always hear this argument, especially coming from the left, like, how do MAGA voters vote against their own interests all the time? It's like, well, we're complex. We have a lot of different interests.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes we do vote
They
against
don't
our own
always
interests
align.
because, you know, we value something else as more important. And you think that identifies that group of people in certain ways. And we just
Also, I
we
think-
don't understand each other.
And a lot of politics is just what makes you feel good.
Yeah, it
And
is.
some people see that, and I fucking hate Donald Trump more than anyone on earth. Some people look at him and they just he makes them feel valued, right? They feel seen. They're a part of something, right? Like,
Well,
and again, I think the discounting of all that, like, most people have never read a fucking bill or a policy in their whole life.
Well, I think what most people hate about politicians is they're just inauthentic and they don't feel like they're getting the real version. You know, Trump, for everything that is bad about him, at least it seems real.
The corruption is all on Front Street.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I'm petty.
Yeah.
You know,
But that's what I mean.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
How many people see him and they're like, oh, it's not like this high ideal guy I could never be. He's just like every shitty person you know.
I could be that guy if I had money.
I think, you know,
if I had money, I would probably not be a very
yeah,
good guy.
I've had this I always have this kind of tension with my father about, he's a Trump voter, but, we can agree for the most part about why Trump is toxic and what he does, good or bad. But my dad's kind of like, look, I kind of want revenge about some things sometimes.
Yes.
Like, I'm petty. Like, I'm
the blood sport of it.
Yeah, like, that's real to me. At least he's
people.
upfront and real about it. Anyway, we're getting off a little bit from the movie, but
again, I think that's what it is. The movie is an access
Yes.
point that is fun to fucking get out these frustrations. Because the whole like we have to fucking hate everyone on the other side, and we have this fucking political violence now, and there's all this talk of a civil war and shit. And it's like you step back and you're like, this is fucking insane.
And who can we blame? Who can we blame for our plight? Are we blaming the billionaires? For exploiting us?
Hell
and doing
yeah.
this? They're partly to blame, but
Right.
we also
but
have
then
our
it's
own.
like, instead of blaming the actual billionaires and eating them live on TV like we should do, it's like, well, we're mad at Trump. And it's like, Trump is a symptom of this problem we've had for a long time, right? He's not the reason that things are so fucked up.
I don't
just
even
is this
I think
lightning rod thing.
I mean, that's the problem with the ending to me. Is like, who are you supposed to blame? Because the aliens were helping us.
Or maybe the ending is great because maybe there's no one to blame.
There's nobody to blame.
Maybe as a collective
That's
hive,
it.
we're all making
Maybe
fucking
it's-
bad choices.
So that's what the
just
bees
humanity.
metaphor is.
Yeah.
They try to figure out why the bees were the colonies were dying.
Yeah, because they said
Who was to
sometimes
blame?
they would leave the queen and she would die on her own, but then
That's-
they can't make
They
more
go
eggs.
through that.
Yeah.
Is it pesticides? Is it
Right.
wind farms? They go through the whole thing. And she says, or maybe, and now we know that she is the alien who has more of the objective truth about how species collapse.
Right.
Or maybe they just tuckered out. I can't remember
So
exactly.
she's blaming. Yeah, she's like, they couldn't
Maybe they
handle
just
the
gave
job.
up.
Yeah, some species run their course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And I think what you
That's
see,
what she
though,
said, yeah.
as we get to this point where we don't value each other, we don't value a collective America. We don't like when I work at a place. I'm not like, corporate culture.
We've
like,
run our
Once
I don't
you're
give a
not
shit
all
about.
rowing in the same direction.
Yeah.
Then you start, entropy.
Yeah, and we all start sitting there and they
stagnate.
go, "What's in this for me?" Like, I don't care about the American dream. I don't care about the American government.
Yeah.
Like, you start shrinking it down to where we're all Jesse Plemons on the internet.
So you have one
What do
goal.
I do with the time I have
I
left?
have one goal. I'm going to focus on
Yeah,
this. And
I feel
I'm
like that's the difference. Is like back in the day, right? When you watch movies from like the 50s, it felt like there was an America, and America mattered to people, and we all had this big goal.
There was a
shared,
bond.
shared ideals.
Now all media is fractured, all attention is fractured, and we're all just dopamine addicts. Like, what gets us through the next 1 minute, right? Look at your screen time report. How many hours a day is that? And like, it's fucking shocking. And it's like we're all just broken into these little isolated bubbles, and there's loneliness epidemic, and it's fucking crazy. And again, I think for a movie to capture all that, it has to be somewhat. I think this movie, because it feels like it's laying this broad like buffet of options. I do think there's a hyper specificity to it though, that also makes it work. I don't know. I found this movie infinitely, and there's no movie I've left the theater and had more fun just pondering.
Yeah,
After every movie I've liked this year, you leave the theater and you're like, yep, I know what happened. I know the middle. I know the end. This one I've really had to sit with
So much
and
to chew
ask
on.
bigger questions.
Yeah.
And what is happening in the world today? Can we fucking fix it? Has the human race run out of steam? And
Or are we
it's a
all
lot.
just done and we just shoot ourselves in the head?
Damn, dude.
And what's great is this is a true messed up movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's genre. It is weird, like you said. It's entertaining. It's funny. It has over the top performances. It twists. It turns. And we are thinking about the probably most urgent questions that is facing our society right now through a movie that is entertaining.
Yeah.
Which is
How
a
it
miracle.
should. That's how it should be.
It's a goofball
Yes.
comedy, right? It's like a heist movie where the heist guys are dummies, right?
Yeah.
But then it's so much more than that. Every scene, I just found it just kept unfurling. I feel like this is a movie I'll watch 10 times.
Oh, yeah.
And every time I watch it, I'll find something different in it to latch onto. And who knows? Maybe we'll survive the internet and AI, and we'll watch it and be like, how quaint we were.
I will
you
say,
never fucking know.
just having this conversation, I'm looking forward to watching it again because
Oh my God,
this
yeah.
has been cathartic. Now I hope to look at it and see, and not have the bad feelings because it was just so oppressive.
Yeah.
Watching it, like, this is
the freaking chemical castration, man.
I mean, yeah, I feel like
that's
these
one of
poor,
the wildest things I've ever
these
seen.
poor people, you know.
Well,
in
even
this
that,
situation.
she's stuck in a basement, and they're trying to, logic it out. And he gets so frustrated, he fucking attacks her, and she's chained up, and Dom's like, get off her. It's so fucking brutal. Yeah. And then they have the weird dinner scene, and you can see Plemons seething, and he dives over the table. Like, there's real moments of like, I don't know what, like, this is so bad. All these people, like, everyone's making all the wrong choices, but I can't fix it. And then again, I think there's something to this whole, almost a warning to us. Like, our kids see what we're doing. Our kids see what we're, like, you see kids at MAGA rallies, you see kids at fucking white supremacy marches, like, what we're giving on to those other people, like, we are destroying our future, right? We're not modeling better behavior. And at some point, Dom's just like, wait, I can go to the spaceship and live in the sky and the stars. And
like, I'm out.
And he makes this horror, like, that moment I cried in the theater. I was like, what a fucking terrible thing.
Yeah,
but it's like, that's what we're all doing. You know,
and
I thought, man, it's a lot.
Yeah, he's just like, I want to leave, or I want to leave this place.
Yeah, he's like, I've been chemically castrated.
He's like,
I listened to Teddy all fucking day.
Because at the beginning of the movie, he's like, let's make it better, right?
Yeah.
And then by that point in time, he's like, can I just leave and start over?
Yeah. Well, you see, and I think the movie does a great job with those opening montages too. You see her getting ready, and you see them doing like this goofy workout together. And when he's doing the high knees, he just fucking laughs, and he's like, you look silly doing that. And then he does it, and you're like, that's where it started.
Yeah.
This, like, we have a mission, let's train, blah, blah, blah. And to see it get to that just pure destruction,
well, it's giving them a purpose,
of an innocent.
You know? Because I feel like so many, and this is another thing. This is a great movie, but so many of us feel like we don't have a purpose, and we need to focus on something.
More than ever right now.
Even if it's like something that's not even real, you know?
Yeah.
Well, think about just like even this fucking dumb podcast and trying to make movies. Like, it gives us something.
Well, think about
it gives a greater meaning. Like,
Yeah.
so many people don't have community. They don't have any of this.
This is honestly why someone shoots a political figure in public. This is why someone raids a pizza place hoping to find a child abduction ring. We're grasping for meaning
We have to
and
have a
for
focus.
importance.
Yeah.
And we're looking in these very dark corners.
Yeah, and it's if we can't find importance, we'll find infamy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, people are just making really fucking scary choices.
You want to matter for some
right,
reason.
and that's the thing I think it was beautiful about Dom's is that he's the only one in this movie that's not super ideologically driven. And at a certain point, you just see him break. He's like, there's just violence everywhere. There's people saying all this crazy shit I don't believe with. I got to pick a side. I think everything's wrong. And he just exits, man. And it's so fucking... He's one of the most lovable movie characters I've seen in ages.
He was great. And I think
it was fucking brutal.
He was supposed to represent us as the audience, I think. And I think the only thing I have a problem with that is, why did it take you so long, dude? Like, how many people did he fucking kill?
Well, maybe.
Okay, maybe.
He's also...
I don't think Dom has been involved in the butchering of like 20 people. But
I feel like he... why would he have killed him? I feel like he had to have
This is another thing that I think the movie captures is that we all know there's a lot of horrible shit going on now. And this is what I was saying with like Trump every fucking day. It's a new story. The ICE raids, I think, are very oppressive in everyone's mind. And I do think there is just a like, fuck, if I just keep my head down and go to work... I take my kids to practice.
It eventually ends.
We do the pod. We do movies.
The storm will blow over.
Yeah. Eventually, someone's going to fucking fix this. And I think Dom, we see him hit the end of, no one's going to fix this.
Yeah.
No one's coming to fix this. Right? And he runs out of fucking entropy. He runs out of fucking steam. And it's just
Stops
tragic.
moving.
It's just tragic.
The other primary character in this is the cop by Stavi.
Stavi, dude.
So obviously
Stavi's my favorite.
He's a plot device. There are things that happen in the movie that could not happen otherwise to advance the plot along without him. However, Griffey, what do you make of that character? What did he serve this theme or the story besides the plot?
I thought the cop was actually a great addition, right? Not only I love Stavi, I loved hearing him on pods where he's like, Yorgos Lanthimos wants you in a movie, and he's like, yeah, all right, cool, man. And he kept, like, every time they had communication or he went in for fitting, he's like, I mean, they're going to change tomorrow and get a real actor and whatever. And I thought he was great in the movie. But to me, what he represents, right? So he was the babysitter of Jesse Plemons when he was young, which is weird because Jesse Plemons looks like he's like 10 years older than him.
Yeah.
But he was the babysitter, right? So it's this people you know and grew up with, right? Fuck ups that you know. I know people I went to school with that were fucking lunatics. and now they're in positions of power,
Yeah.
right? They're running for government. They're cops. They're whatever, right? And I think what that was, and they dropped this insane bomb in the middle where Stavi pretty much just tells Jesse Plemons, like,
I'm sorry
hey,
for molesting you.
Yeah, sorry for molesting you.
Yeah.
It wasn't a thing. It was more of a me thing than you.
Yeah.
So just adding on to Plemons, whatever. In that moment, though, I think the cop is supposed to represent this absolute mistrust we have in institutions. Because not only now this cop who is that...
He plants the seed.
Yeah,
in the
he's
beginning.
supposed to
He's
be
the babysitter. He's the protector, and then he is the.
And now he's a cop.
abuser.
So when you see him as a cop, you're like, the system's fucked. Like, nothing's going to happen.
Well, also
so he's supposed
for
to be...
Plemons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be the savior who's going to save the CEO from the crime.
Yeah.
But he's a molester. He is a childish, silly guy, right? Like, I think you see in that, it's capturing another thing that we deal with all the time, which is our institutions have collapsed.
Yeah.
Like, what institution that was like a pillar of American society, and this could be a worldwide problem, I'm just not globally knowledgeable. What institution did we have when you were young? It's like, cops are good guys. The government's here. America's great. The military. We don't have an institution now that I think anyone fucking respects, appreciates. We always assume nefarious.
Is that
ideals.
more of the illusion of that has gone? Because cops were never really
I mean,
good.
yeah, I'm sure you can go back in history and find a lot of examples of bad cops.
It goes through
yeah.
waves.
So
for
we're
sure.
But that's
less-
what I'm saying. I think what it is, though, the movie's just illustrating the disillusionment
Yeah.
and everything. And I think Stavi is the person who harmed you who keeps going up the ladder and having more authority and power.
Well, and
so I
it's
think
like
that's just a
and
discrediting
he's also trying to
institutions.
like reconcile his own actions by being like, I'm going to check on this guy.
Well, he's gaslighting him.
He's gaslighting him.
He's like, hey, man, it was you forgive me, right? You're not going
Right.
to tell anyone.
Yeah.
Because he's on the internet a lot. I hope he doesn't fucking out me.
Yeah,
You
right.
know what I mean?
That's probably what it is.
So I think it's just, you see every moment in this movie, it's just severing Plemons' ties from anything that could have saved him. And then throwing us for a loop and saying he was right the whole fucking time. Right? Feels like this kind of yo-yo ride. But again, I don't think an objective truth matters in this.
Yeah.
What matters is the never knowing what the fuck is real. Never
Yeah.
knowing what the fuck is happening. And I think all the characters manifest this fucking rage. This rage that we all feel building up inside of us. But most of us just say,
Yeah, the center did not hold.
yeah, like
And
you're
so here
saying,
we are.
too lazy to be crazy. Because we all know something has to happen. But none of us are like, know how to do it.
Well,
And I
and
think the movie just gets to this quiet rage we all feel like, why can't grown-ups just fucking stop? Why can't we all just say, guys, that was out of control? Right? Like there are things you do in Tijuana you don't do in your house, right? Just be like, all right, we had our wild decade. Let's fucking fix it. And it just feels like nothing's real anymore. Everything's
Yeah.
broken. We're not real people to each other. And the movie captures that fucking rage and desperation and the kind of pitifulness of it. Right? And then when you take it out to that cosmic scale, once you add insignificance, it's like, how can we not be apathetic? How can we not just fucking
but does that
destroy
take away
everything?
any of it, though, the ending?
No. I
The
don't
fact
think
that
so.
it is also insignificant.
Again, if you sit on that, no, I think this is the thing, right? People misunderstand nihilism, right? If you read on nihilism, everyone's like, oh, it's nothing matters. What nihilism really is nothing matters. Therefore, everything you choose to commit yourself
It's
to
equally
has
important.
extra
Yeah.
beauty.
Everything's
right?
important.
I decide what has meaning. Nothing has meaning. So when we try to make a movie, Mr. Cream Jeans, whatever, it seems stupid on
I
the
like
outside.
how you're bringing it back.
Right? Yeah, it seems stupid on the outside. It seems childish. Like the world doesn't need more movies, but to us, it matters. It has value. It's a battle. It's a hill we're conquering. It's something we're putting into the world.
Okay.
Right? Does it matter? No. Does this pod matter? No. Does Bugonia matter? Nothing
Not
matters.
really, yeah.
We choose what has meaning,
Right.
and the characters do that in very dark and destructive ways in this movie. But yeah,
Fucking A, man.
there's nothing you could do to make this movie not incredible to me.
And
Yeah.
I love the bees part of it too. At first, I was a little annoyed and
Felt a little on the nose.
a little on the nose. I can't get the happening, the Mark Wahlberg bee speech.
So
out
wait,
of my
was
head.
it okay? So in my mind, the bees. So they represent us in a way. Is that what?
Well,
is that what was
I'm
on
going,
the nose?
That's what I'm going for. Is that you can look at it from a negative, and you can also look at it from a constructive. Like the idea is that when we stop having a shared mission, then we collapse.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, we're the worker bees, right?
Yeah,
We
but
need a
at the same
mission.
time, it's frustrating that we're the worker
That
bees.
we have to
and
do
that
this,
the queen gets all the honey.
Yeah.
and
Yeah, exactly.
we're just the drones that have no meaning.
It is kind of weird that when you start deciding the meaning for yourself, it's like, that's it, society's over. And it's like, well, what the fuck, dude? That's not my fault.
this podcast started off way different. And now, yes, society's over.
And that's how the movie
That's
ends.
how
But
the movie
again,
ends,
it's up to us to decide if the human species has value to us. If enough people, if a critical mass of people say, let's all stop being cunts online, let's hold people in power to real account, let's not let fucking 20 people have all the money on earth while people are starving and unhoused. If enough people fucking decide that the hive matters, it will, right? If none of us do and we keep fucking hiding on the internet, then yeah, it's over.
And
Like, there's
I'm
no way
already
around
thinking of more stuff because in my mind, I just had the idea that the fact that she just burst the bubble and it happened so quick, like maybe that is symbolism to we don't really matter.
Well, it's the sniper
we
thing.
actually
You
don't
never, you
matter.
never hear the one that gets you, right?
Yeah.
And maybe we've just had such a critical mass of bad things. We're just going to have no idea. Just next thing you know, you turn around, fireball, we're all gone.
Like it's not some.
no
Well, it's
fucking
not
clue.
even that. It's not even a huge dramatic thing like the dinosaurs getting,
Asteroids. And
Yeah, like
it's
we
not
literally,
metal like
in this
Armageddon.
movie, we literally just
It's like the
keel over
Titanic
death.
submersible.
Yeah,
Just
it's just
Just
boom,
gone.
You're
Blink,
done.
We're done. But again, I think that's
Insignificant.
The thing I love about it is a movie that can tell a small little story, but it makes me just question everything in my life. And so, again, I think the best movies, right? There's no movie that I really love that doesn't, on some level, tap into my emotional state that I'm in at the moment, right? There are silly-ass movies, right? Like Attack of the Killer Clowns, whatever, right? The movies that are truly great, to me, have to tap in somewhere to a deep emotion I have. In this one, it's like it broke the dam, and I just was laying in bed thinking of all the shit I saw in this movie, and what does it mean? And is that me?
Trying
Which
to
one is
understand
me?
it.
Yeah, like, what the fuck, dude? And I just wrestling with this movie is like, no movie this year has come close
well, and dude, and
to giving me that much entertainment value for
on a
my
whole
time.
another level too. Like the fact that this movie was basically 3 people in a basement, and it felt as epic as it felt. I think the score added to that.
yeah,
The score
craft
was like
is amazing.
Yeah.
huge. Everything was the aspect ratio was huge.
Yeah.
like it was
It was
tall.
VistaVision.
Like everything was huge, but the story was so simple.
Yep.
It was great.
It's beautiful, man.
I don't think there are really 2 better actors going right now than Stone and Plemons.
Plemons just, that's the great thing about being Yorgos, right? Like once you show, you just have this like, I'm going to put you in memorable, challenging pieces. You can get all the best actors, man. And it's
Hell yeah, dude.
it's incredible.
This
Yeah.
movie's a feast.
To me, it's like if this movie's not in your top 10 of the year, I feel like maybe you need it more than everyone else. You know what I mean?
Needs at least a screenplay, it's adapted, but a screenplay nomination. It's the same guy who wrote The Menu,
Oh my
which
god.
has a lot.
The menu's the exact same. It's
Yeah.
kind of unpacking
Yeah.
all of these social
Yeah.
strata issues.
Yeah.
I do think it's crazy, and hopefully I will. I hope everyone sees this and goes back and watches the original it's based on. Because the ideas and the staging, it's just... I write screenplays all the time. I was like, fuck, how does someone come up with this? It's
I
so
have not-
brilliant and beautiful.
I have
and
not
simple.
seen Save the Green Planet, but just from what I understand, this version departs quite a bit from that movie. We should.
Yeah, I haven't seen.
You
it
should
either.
watch
We
it.
should
No,
watch
you-
it. Let's do a pod on it.
Yeah.
It fucking gave us a movie I absolutely adore. By far my favorite movie of 2025. We should support that movie. All right, so let's get to it. Sam, what's the most messed up moment in Bugonia?
All right, this for me is easy. It's the moment when he leaves to put the antifreeze in his mom, and she walks into the other room.
What a sentence.
Yeah, crazy sentence. That's not the messed up part. The messed up part for me is when she walks into the room and sees all the dead bodies, and in my mind that instantly clicked, and I'm like, oh, Jesse Plemons is a psycho. And that fucked up my head.
You didn't think he was a psycho before?
Well, no. Okay.
He'd only abducted a CEO at that point.
No.
We
At
can
that
all
point in
forgive
time,
that.
I thought he was just a crazy guy that abducted a woman, right? And then I realized he's a serial killer, and that clicked in my head, and that was fucked up. I think
You know
that's
what's
my
weird?
messed up.
That moment reminded me of those old National Enquirers, right? Where it's like, alien autopsy video surfaces, right? And it felt to me like we were slipping into like these fun, weird conspiracy things. But when it hits in the movie, it's very arch and bizarre. And then it's followed immediately as she discovers he's a grisly serial killer. He injects antifreeze into his mom's bed, and he kills the mom that like started him on the... Man, wild.
And the hope that he really hopes that he made the
know,
right
yeah,
decision.
dude.
Like,
he
wake
injects
up,
his
mom.
antifreeze in his mom. He's waiting on
And when
her to wake up.
she has like the death rattle, he thinks maybe she's coming out
all
of it.
the alien stuff's going out of her body and she's going to come alive. And no, he's just a guy who abducted a CEO and killed his mom.
Yeah.
And watching him pedal his bike, "Ugh!" Yep. I was like, yep. We all have been there. Heath, what was the most messed up moment in
Whoa,
Bugonia?
man, so many to choose from. This is a very messed up movie. I can't wait to watch it again to go back and see all of the little mini messed up moments at the very end where society is done,
Yeah.
and just all the things that happen.
The Mountain Dew music.
When we
video
just
segment,
we just drop dead. What does that world look like when everyone in the world is just not alive anymore? Like, and the world is still spinning. That was pretty messed up. But for me, I think what had me on the edge of my seat was the scene where he's electroshocking in a stone.
Oh my god! Yeah, we
and-
didn't even talk about that.
Cranking it up until the power basically goes out. And then he ends it like, oh, I didn't realize she was a queen alien.
Yeah.
Of such,
Because she took
she
so
didn't
much
die.
extra voltage.
Yeah.
He's like, my god, I didn't realize we had one of the royal family.
Well,
Yes.
and the entire time
So it's like
Donnie's
the-
like in
it's
the
this
corner
kindness.
going, oh.
And I think
Maybe
that to
you
your
should
point,
stop,
that's
yeah.
maybe why he is the surrogate. Don is the surrogate for the audience.
Yeah.
Because I'm feeling exactly like he is in
Exactly.
that
He's like,
scene.
hey, should we keep doing this, you know?
Yeah.
And
yeah, it just plays as a torture. And then I think that adding the kindness of, I'm sorry, Your Majesty. It's so fucking insane.
like, why does he respect her as the Majesty? Shouldn't he like her?
Because
even
she
less?
will get him closer to talking
Yeah.
to the leader who can
So
actually
he's like
save
sucking.
us.
So it's like a
He's a lunatic.
yeah. He's
Yeah. But then that's what it, but then is he?
Basically.
I have
And
to
a
say,
fuck up.
Yeah.
He's a fuck up.
all
kid.
these moments are insane. This movie has so many insane. It has a cop murder. It has so many wild, messed up things. There's nothing in this movie to me that's more devastating or traumatic. I mean, Dom has a couple moments that are devastating, but watching him by his own cousin who loves him, who's kind of shepherding him, who's making him go on this mission with him, when he chemically injects him and chemically castrates him,
Yeah.
that broke my heart. It was kind of this foretelling of
Which
you're
happens
like,
early. That's in the
it's
first
right
act.
at the start before they even abduct, and you're just like, oh my god, this guy's gonna drag that boy
Yeah.
to hell.
Yeah.
When he
This-
even
this
says the line
innocent,
like,
nice, funny character.
"I'm hoping to have kids one day."
Yeah,
and he's like, "Well, you don't have to worry about that."
I was hoping to find someone, and he's like,
Yeah, hoping to find something.
and then he injects him, and he goes, "How's that feel?" Oh, all right. It broke
Yeah.
my fucking heart, and you just knew, you're like, as long as he's with this cousin, and as long as he loves him, he will be subjected to all manner
Look,
of horrors.
and that's
in that
pretty-
moment, again, I cried a bunch.
That's
with that character.
that moment is a harbinger for how the movie is going
Yeah.
to end. It's like, well, didn't matter, Don.
It
You weren't
actually
gonna-
didn't matter,
You
yeah.
weren't going to have that opportunity
Yep.
anyway.
Anyways,
And that was
yeah.
Plemons' point, I think.
yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
not
so
that we
sad.
want to say that was right or he was good.
Yeah, but
Right?
this
It's
is
like-
what I mean, where it's a kind of a bummer movie. There's so many moments like that are heartbreaking and make you feel just terrible.
Yeah, this movie is maybe the best example I can think of true gallows humor.
Yeah.
But it's just the entire species that's on the gallows.
Right.
You know?
Killing of sacred deer is the same thing.
Yeah.
It's exactly that
Yeah.
way.
The
so-
stakes are just smaller in
Yeah.
that one. This one is, man, I went on my letterbox. There was someone who gave this a 1.5 star.
Horseshit.
I unfriended them immediately because, like this movie, I believe in absolutes. I will not hear dissent. To me, this is the movie that has achieved the most of anything I've seen this year. I'd have to go back to last year, man. This is my favorite in theater experience I've had in quite a while. I fucking
you have to
adored
see
this
one
movie.
battle after another, though. You got to get out there and see
I
it.
said this when Weapons came out. I said, if there's another movie this year I like as much as Weapons, I'd be shocked. And then Bugonia came. Maybe there's room. I just think it's delightful. We're getting so many awesome
Maybe we're
movies.
in the golden age, boys.
Yeah. As our species is rapidly unaliving itself,
Hey,
at least
man,
we're getting good movies.
Art is always better during the fall of empires.
That's true.
That's
Yeah.
true.
That is true.
Yeah, well, that's not a good sign for us because we're getting a lot of good movies. So that's it for Bugonia. We hope you guys have watched this and enjoyed it as much as we have. Go to the Messed Up Movies Podcast Patreon so you can get more of the show. You can get all of our mini-series on some various TV shows we've been covered. Make sure you go subscribe to the Misfit Parade YouTube. Make sure you go to Indiegogo and type in Mr. Cream Jeans because we've been shadow banned because our truths are too hardcore for the cowards at Indiegogo.
Come down the rabbit hole with us.
Yeah, you can get a perk where you can join the podcast. You can do a new movie, an old movie, or a film festival draft of your choosing, and you can help us make our first movie, which we would appreciate. We'll see you next time.